Hey there! Monteverde contacted me a while ago and said, would you like to review a pen? And I said, how about this one? And they said, okay. So they sent me this. What we have here is the Impressa. It comes in a couple of finishes, but I thought this one was quite attractive. It is a gunmetal and red. And I think that dark red and the gunmetal works very well together. Fun pen. There's definitely some stuff to talk about with this one. Excuse me. And that's all there's to it. So I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I'll do a writing sample and I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like about it. That was the visual appeal to this video. Let's get started. Okay, so here we go with this Monteverde Impressa. And I think this, of the pens they sent me, this is one that I ended up really liking. So anyway, box. This is just a cardboard outer sleeve, and then you have this plastic box, which has a little pen bed in it, and then it has a warranty, flush and instructions, whatever. We have a black and a blue cartridge. This really spins, by the way. And we have a collection guide, which is kind of fun, like a catalog. Not like a catalog, it is a catalog, and you can see if there are other pens that you might want to purchase. Also very dangerous, obviously. Okay, let's have a look at the actual pen, and let's look at that pen right besides a Pilot Metropolitan. So, I'll zoom in a bit. Here's the Metropolitan, and here is the Impressa. So it is a fairly slim pen. It's a little bit longer than the Metro. And that's pretty much all there's to it. What can I tell you about this pen? There are a couple of finishes. This happens to be the gunmetal with a red trim. There's also a blue trim. It uses JoWo number 6 nibs, fine, medium, broad. It's said in the description on the Monteverde website. But then it also says somewhere else that you can get extra fine, fine, medium, broad, 1.1 stub, and Omniflex. So I'm assuming you can, because you can get most Monteverde pens in those different nib types, and it's just a number 6 JoWo nib, so I assume you'd be able to get that. Fun thing about this pen, so as I said, there are 4 trims, and it's kind of nicely designed because the cap actually is square. There's a square profile, and then it turns into something round, and then the barrel is fully round, which I think is nice. It's kind of an elegant design it looks good to me. The best part, as far as I'm concerned, is the price. These pens are only $55, which I know, relatively speaking, I know there are cheaper pens, because someone's going to say, oh, $55 is quite expensive. Yes, I know that, but there also are fountain pens that are $500, $5,000, $50,000, etc. So as pens go, especially given what you get, I think this is a pretty fair price and a very affordable price for what you get. I'll get to that in likes and dislikes. Okay, let's cover the parts of the pen. So on top we have this very nice shiny finial, in this case red, this particular finish, and you may see there's something going on with the clip. That's because it is spring loaded. The clip itself nicely curved, and as I said, spring loaded, so it's very easy to use, and I found this a very usable clip. I like spring loaded clips because they tend to bend out of shape less easily. On the back of the cap here you have Monteverde USA, and it says Impressa, and the whole thing, as I said, is this very dark gunmetal gray, which I've always liked a lot. We have a nice metal ring right there, and the same red as the clip, and then at the end here we have this, it's just an end piece. It doesn't do anything, with some grooves, which is nice visual appeal, and again that same red. The thing that keeps confusing me with this pen is that it's metal, and I want to, for some reason, I don't know why, I want to open it by turning it, but this is a snap cap, so it actually just pops off like that. Okay, we have a bit of ink on a section there, but that's okay. So don't forget about that. Section tapers down, and as I said, that cap kind of flares out a bit in a squarish fashion, completely square on top, quite nice. Okay, cap pops off, It's a nicely sized pen, a little on the slimmer side, obviously, but I would say nicely sized. The section tapers down and has that lip to keep the solid clunk of that closing mechanism working. And you can actually post this pen very securely. I will get back to that in likes and dislikes because it's all metal and it's a lot of metal, so it definitely gets a bit top heavy. You get a number 6 nib, black coated. That means that in this case the tipping is coated as well, and that does give a special tactile feeling when you write with it. However, over time, in my experience, that coating tends to wear off. This is not just the case for Monteverde nibs, but almost all black coated nibs I've seen have that coating wear off at the tipping at some point. It's just use, right? You keep scraping it, scrape across paper, and that's what happens. Okay, number 6 Jowo nib has the Monteverde logo, says Monteverde USA and Monteverde on the side, and you have that cute MV line that crosses the breather hole, which I think is a very nice touch. Okay, what I really should do is mark off what is in and not in view of my camera, by the way. I apologize. I think I've now really shown everything, but I think there was a bit where I was talking and you couldn't see the pen. I apologize. I don't have much experience recording videos. Okay, let's see how this pen writes. Oh, sorry, I meant to zoom out, but I turned the whole camera a bit. Tightened a bit off the tripod, so it should be good now. Okay, of all the pens they sent me, this one is my favorite writer. This particular nib is just incredibly nice. So here we have the Monteverde Impressa. The broad is a true broad. This is a nice wide line, and the ink is Monteverde Garnet, and I love it. I absolutely love the color of this ink, and this combination, it's very, very sweet. You do get, as I said, a bit of that special feedback because of the horrid, that's disgustingly written. Anyway, jumps, sorry. You do get a bit of that special feedback because of the coating on the nib. But having said that, it's a wonderful, pleasurable writing experience. I was really impressed, and I'll talk more about that in likes and dislikes, but I'm not really one for slimmer pens, but this nib though is really, really nice. Very well tuned, nice and wet. I love it. Line variation, nothing natural because it's a round, broad nib. With a bit of pressure you could maybe squeeze some out, but it's not a flex nib, and you can get an omni-flex nib if you really want line variation, so I would just do that. To my friends who like the reverse writing, it definitely gets scratchier, but you can get away with a couple words. You see it is starting to run dry, so I wouldn't expect too much in ways of that, but you could also just get an extra fine if you want finer writing. And again, I do love this garnet. Very nice. Don't you love this color? Look at it. I just love it. Okay, I think it is time to discuss likes and dislikes. There we go. What do I like, what do I not like about the Monteverde Impressa? Here's the thing. I don't like slim pens typically. If you've seen my reviews, if you've watched my reviews for a while, then you know that I don't like it. It's partially because I have larger hands, so something that's very slim doesn't work well for me. But I love this pen, and that is a shock to me because it's slim, and yet I love it. The nib is fantastic. It's superb. It's a lovely writer. The metal to me works. It makes the pen feel very solid, and I have a bit of a soft spot for gunmetal. I've always liked this dark metal, and it's so shiny. I really love it. combined with this very nice dark red, I think that combination works exceptionally well. And I have to, I love it. I love it. I love writing with it, even though it is slim. It just works, which is very weird to me. Sorry, enough about me. So I like that it writes incredibly well. I love the metal, makes it feel very robust. I think this is a very fair price. $55. Yes, it's steel nib, yes, it's cartridge converter, but it's also a fully metal pen. It's an exceptional writer, so for that price I think you get a really, really good deal. As to dislike, oh, by the way, the spring-loaded clip, fantastic, works really well. I love it. Things I don't like so much about it, there really only is one thing. By the way, number 6 nib is also great, right? Because they could easily put number 5 on this, but number 6 gives it just a little bit more oomph. I love that it posts, and it posts very securely. The pen gets a little top heavy because there's a lot of metal in the cap, and it gets a bit heavier. You can hold it a little bit. I found I tend to hold it up a little bit higher. There is definitely some step down, a little bit of a sharp edge, but if you hold it lightly, it's fine, good enough to write with, and you don't really experience that weight. But that, again, that's a matter of hand size. I could see how some people with smaller hands might not want to post this, because I think then you end up with like something like this, and that's going to be very unbalanced and heavy. Overall, really, really good job on this pen, and I just put some garnet ink on my finger, which is lovely. Did I get it anywhere else? Like on the white carpet? I don't think so. Okay, I love it. I'm sorry, I love it. And for that price, I think there is quite a lot to love. So Monteverde, very kind, thank you for sending me the pen. I really appreciate it. I hope this was useful. And I'll gladly see you later. Bye.